Is it on?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Alright. This is my quick video on how to shoot as a pistol expert. I first started shooting when I was 21. Wasn't very good until I learned the basics on how to shoot. And the basics are very simple. And I'm going to show you what I used to get from good to win pistol expert in the last 2 classes I've been through as a police officer. So saying that, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, on any weapon, this is a Glock 22, it's a 40 caliber semi-automatic. You're always going to want to drop the magazine, the very first thing you do. And then you're going to lock back the slide, physically and visually inspect the weapon to make sure that it is clear. Once we know it's clear, we're going to close it back up. And the first thing you're going to want to do when you're practicing shooting is you're going to take your right hand and you're going to make a V. Some people call it a ham sandwich grip, whatever. You're going to make a V, and then you're going to take the pistol and you're going to slide it into that V on your hand, just like so. When you do that, it's going to be nice and tight. The back strap is going to be nice and tight, and your thumb and your finger are going to be pointing in the same direction, just like so. This gun can be fired with one hand as accurately as with 2. But once you've got a good grip, this grip right here is what's going to control the weapon. So I've got my grip. Now I'm going to take my left hand, which is just a support hand, nothing more, and I'm going to put it in that little void, and I'm going to wrap it around the firearm, just like so. So my thumbs are going to point in the same direction, and my fingers all going to point in the same direction. Let me come and show you a little bit closer. So again, I've got my hand on the weapon, and then I'm going to take my hand and put it in the void, just like so. It's unbelievably natural feeling once you try it. So I've got this natural grip. But the good thing is you can shoot one-handed or two-handed, depending on the situation. Now, ultimately, when you get into a firefight, I've been in 2 of them. Both times, I shot with just my right hand. And I never aimed both times. I used just natural shooting. But you always want to practice perfect. So I've got my grip, I've got my support hand, and now I've got a shooter's balance on the gun. From here, I'm just going to have a natural posture with my arms. Meaning my right hand, then my left hand's going to come in like so, and I'm just going to have a natural stance. Some people do an isosceles. Can you bring it over here, Katie? Mm-hmm. Some people are going to do an isosceles type of stance, where they're going to lean forward like that, with their feet next to each other. Some people like to do the modified Weaver, where you got a stance and you're shooting like that. Just remember that when you do shoot, your feet are always going to be at an angle. So the isosceles shooting right here is not a very accurate way to shoot. In fact, if you ever have to get into a firefight, generally someone is trying to harm you and you're going to be retreating backwards. You're either going to be retreating backwards or you're going to be moving to the side. Either way, you're going to be moving while you're shooting, so you need to get used to having your feet at a distance. That's why I use the modified Weaver. But once I start shooting, again, I'm going to have this perfect grip that I can shoot with one hand if I need to. And then I'm just going to hold it like so. I'm going to bring it up. And you don't want to move your head at all. A lot of people move their heads and shrink down. You don't want to do that. You want to bring this pistol up to your line of sight. That's how you want to use it. just like so. Again, you don't want to turn your head. You don't want to bring your head down or up. You want to stand normally with your legs at a good distance, have a good stance. And you're going to bring that weapon up. Now, when I bring this weapon up, I'm going to have it lined up on my sight, which is, I've got a V, or I'm sorry, a U, and this dot in between. Okay? And this is how I'm going to practice. As I practice, I'm going to take this gun, and I'm going to put it on anything in your room. You can use a lamp, you can use a mirror. Just fix it on a target. When you're sitting down, standing up, it doesn't matter. You're going to put it on that target, and you're just going to hold it still. Keep your sights locked. And you're just going to practice that for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and 30 seconds. Just holding it perfectly lined up on your target. The front of the gun is not going to bounce, nor is the back. That's the goal. You just practice on holding it steady. Once you do that a few times, now we're going to get into trigger pull. And the trigger pull is what makes or breaks your ability to fire a gun accurately. If you pull this trigger and the gun moves a little bit with that anticipation, your muscles are going to anticipate, you're going to be off every time. We're going to master that right here. So I'm holding my sights fixed on whatever I'm fixed on. I'm going to take my finger, I'm going to move it into the trigger guard, and then I'm just going to slowly pull the trigger. And then I'm going to, on this gun, I've got to reset it. So I'm going to reset it. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to hold it, and I'm just going to slowly
Shoot that.
pull the trigger. I'm just going to do that over and over again. You want to do that, stop. You're going to want to do that at least 100 times. You want to do it maybe like 50 times, take a break 50 times, but you want to do it about 1,000 times. That's what they say gets your muscle mass to just, your muscle memory, I'm sorry, to be right on. But so again and again, I'm going to stay on my target, and I'm going to pull that trigger, and you don't even really want to know when it's going to fire. You're just going to slowly squeeze it, and it's really going to go off on its own. That's how smoothly you want to have this trigger pull. So you're just going to again and again keep doing it. Now the first time you do it, your end dot is going to bounce back and forth. You're going to notice the gun's going to drop a little bit. But as you get smoother and smoother, you're going to notice that as you do it, that sight picture is never going to move. And Brian, that's the key to getting to be very proficient in shooting a firearm. So after you get really good at doing that, I can even do it one-handed. There's still a little bit of movement. I'm not perfect, but you get the picture. Dry firing, that's the only way to go. So once you practice doing that and doing that and doing that, when you get to the range, you're going to slow it down, slow trigger pull, and you're going to hold it the way I taught you to hold it, just like so, naturally having your thumbs lined up and your finger lined up. So no matter what happens, if you have to pull this weapon from a concealed position, say you're getting groceries and somebody comes to attack you, you're going to pull up and pull out. Naturally, you're not even going to be aiming generally because they're going to be right there. Your hands, your fingers, and your thumbs are going to point to the threat, and you're just going to light them up, just like so. My first shooting involved a dog attacking me, actually. I was chasing after someone. A dog started attacking my right arm. I broke him loose, grabbed my firearm, and fired like that. Shot and killed the dog. My second one involved a guy in a car pinning me against another vehicle, At that point, I got my gun out and fired like this. I didn't hit him, but I didn't hit him because the bullets deflected as they went into the car. Had I not been shooting through a car, I would have hit him. You get the picture. So a natural shooter stance is like this, with your feet crossed, and you're just going to practice that trigger pull over and over again. That's all you need to do, Brian. So good luck in your shooting, and let me know how it goes, buddy. That's it. Someone's very upset. Why are you upset, baby girl?
You killed a dog.
Well, I didn't mean to.
But it didn't mean to hurt you. It was just trying to be bad.
That dog was out for blood. And you know what? I was the Steven Seagal.
But he wouldn't have been like that if his owner wasn't so mean.
Katie, I put that dog 6 feet under the ground.
That's bad. I'm angry.
I know.